Other news tonight, surprise and mixed reaction over former President Donald Trump's plans to come to Chicago to speak Wednesday to the National Association of Black Journalists.
Some members of NABJ say they will not attend, and others are planning to protest outside of the event. Our political reporter, Marianne Ahern, is here with the details, and clearly a decision that caught a lot of people by surprise.
Certainly did, Stephen and Allison. Co-chair of the convention announced she is stepping down as that co-chair, citing she was not consulted about Donald Trump appearing at this event. When Donald Trump tried to campaign in Chicago in 2016, protests, including fights inside the UIC, prevented him from even speaking. Tomorrow, Trump is invited to attend the National Association of Black Journalists convention.
You know, there's no secret that the former president, Donald Trump, is an abuser. He was quite cruel to many individuals in the black press in particular.
Protests are planned outside the hotel hosting the convention. At the same time, the mayor says,
we're going to be prepared as a city if he decides to actually arrive in Chicago.
The Washington Post, Karen Attiah, announced she was stepping down as co-chair of the NABJ convention and was not consulted about Trump's Chicago event. NABJ President Ken Lemon says,
we invite the presidential candidates to come. We extend that to anyone who is a nominee, and in this case, we have 2 presumptive nominees.
Lemon is promising there will be a fact check and not a campaign-style speech.
It is our jobs as journalists to have those uncomfortable conversations so that the people who count on us to inform them get the information from the source.
In 2004, then former President George Bush spoke to what was then called the Unity Conference. And late this afternoon, Governor Pritzker, he weighed in on the Trump visit, saying in part, every time Donald Trump visits the Midwest, he tells us how much he hates it. We've also learned Kamala Harris is not able to accept the NABJ invitation to come to Chicago. She hopes to schedule an event later with the NABJ, and she may name her VP as soon as Monday.
A lot going on, and I know you're going to be on top of it, and hopefully maybe news coming out of Chicago with the NABJ convention.
Right. We'll be there tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Switching gears now, as protests are expected downtown today. This as former President Donald Trump visits Chicago.
Yeah, Michelle, he's going to be speaking at the convention for the National Association of Black Journalists. NBC5's Sandra Torres joins us now live outside of the hotel where this convention is happening, the Hilton Hotel right there on Michigan Avenue. And Sandra, the president's visit today kind of sparking mixed reaction from Chicagoans and from some of the NABJ members.
That's right, Evron. So some of the NABJ members are basically saying that they're questioning why Trump would be invited to the convention. A lot of them are criticizing and saying that there's many reasons for it, but one of them is that he has been basically not treating black journalists with much respect. So that's one of the reasons why they're questioning this. And the co-chair of the convention announced yesterday she was stepping down because she says she was not consulted about Trump being a part of the convention. We know that the president of the organization, though, he is defending this decision.
It's our jobs as journalists to have those uncomfortable conversations so that the people who count on us to inform them get the information from the source.
And Ken Lemon said the organization always invites major candidates, especially during presidential elections. This year, there's no exception. Our political reporter, Marianne Ahern, reports that Kamala Harris is not able to accept the NABJ invitation to come to Chicago. She hopes to schedule an event later. But the last time former President Trump tried to campaign in Chicago was in 2016. There were also protests then, but this was inside of the event at the UIC, and fights broke out that prevented Trump from speaking. Now today, protests are also expected once again, but outside of the hotel. Mayor Brandon Johnson says the city is prepared to ensure safety, even though his administration's values are different from President Trump's.
There's no secret that the former president, Donald Trump, is an abuser. He was quite cruel to many individuals in the black press in particular.
And Governor Pritzker also weighed in on the Trump visit, saying in part, every time Donald Trump visits the Midwest, he tells us how much he hates it. Former President Trump is expected to participate in a Q&A session moderated by 3 different journalists. We understand security is going to be very tight. This is not an event that's open to the public. Only those who are registered for the convention can attend. Reporting live outside of the Hilton downtown, Sandra Torres, NBC 5 News.
We'll certainly continue to follow this and let everyone know what happens at the convention. Sandra, thank you. It is 6:09, and we now know who's going to fill the seat of the late Cook County Commissioner Dennis Deere. Former Chicago Alderman Michael Scott Jr. won the vote last night after presentations from several applicants. He's going to complete the current term and also appear on the November ballot as the Democratic nominee for the new term. You might remember Deere died last month after serving 7 years on the Cook County Board.
The former president, Donald Trump, is an abuser. He was quite cruel to many individuals in the black press in particular, from, Miss Ryan, Miss Phillip, Miss Alcindor. His conduct is very much on par with former President Wilson, who dismissed a black man from his office when he was challenged about segregation, William Monroe Trotter. So President Trump is in the vein of those who were strong proponents of segregation. The black press has played an integral role in the transformation of our city here in Chicago, but as well as our country and our world. We're going to be prepared as a city if he decides to actually arrive in Chicago to make sure that the nastiness in the iniquitous formation that he brings, that doesn't stain the soul of Chicago. He's already answered all the questions. He is a strong proponent of Project 2025. This is someone who actually wants to jail and incarcerate members of the press. He's made that very clear. This is someone who doesn't believe in public accommodations. And quite frankly, this is just, he's just a dishonest human being. He answered all of the questions when he, was in charge of this country. His denial of a global pandemic, and then of course his hatred, towards women and people of color. His, monstrous disposition is one that is quite dangerous. I've said this repeatedly. There are a number of individuals who have not accepted the results of the Civil War. And I've been saying that for a year, and it is very evident that here is someone who is making overtures to dictatorship. Announcing that people won't have to vote again in 4 years is a clear signal that he has all the intentions to take this country back to a very dark age.